Welcome to A Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmet, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 57 and 58, Daenerys and Tyrion. In these chapters,
happy betrayal ×2 and Happy New Year!
welcome to the podcast, everyone. So right off the top, Harmeth, who died in these chapters?
What's his name? Miro?
Yeah. The Titan's Bastard.
Titan's Bastard, the hero guy? I forget his real name.
Guy? Oh, like the champion? Yeah.
Yeah. Him. And then I think that was it.
Daenerys' respect for Jorah and Arston, quote unquote.
Arston Barriston.
What did you think of that reveal?
We'll get to that, but like, what the actual fucking hell?
Do you know how hard it was to stop myself from saying Barriston every time?
Oh my gosh. No, I have to give you credit for that, because that's wackerdoodles.
Every time I said it, I like paused in my brain and then said Arston instead of Barriston. It was quite the deed.
Oh my god, you're gonna become such a good liar from this podcast.
I think I have become.
No, I think you're gonna become even more manipulative. I mean that with love.
To be fair, the only person I manipulate is you.
Wow, that makes you a good person.
No, I'm not saying it makes me a good person. It just says something about our relationship and your, what's the word?
Docileness.
Or just like malleability, right?
I think so.
Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
Like, I know exactly how to push your buttons. We've just like known each other for too long.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that kind of broke me. But like in a good way.
Okay.
Not like Red Wedding broke me.
So maybe it healed you a little?
No, it definitely didn't heal me. Don't do that.
All right.
Oh, and then in Tyrion's chapter, well, Sansa found out about deaths. Sansa's last remaining piece of soul probably died. But that's kind of it.
Yeah. Okay, so, or do you want to talk, did you have general feelings about these chapters, or were they just like, I'm tired, let's get on with it?
No, I wasn't tired. I was energetic reading these.
That's me.
Yeah, I've had a good week. I'm chilling.
How dare you have a good week when I'm not having a good week?
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Dany. Okay, so Dany's chapter, you know, I was kind of living for Dany's girl bossing. You know, I was like, you know, she's slowly building up her, like, arsenal of people. Like, you know, we're getting somewhere. She's traveling. Like, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I was proud of her.
Like traveling. Like, she's on, like, a world tour or something.
It's fine, okay? But, like, it's like, you know, I chose to think about the good parts. From Dany's perspective, rather than think about, oh no, what the fuck's gonna happen now, you know? So I was thinking about it that way, and I was doing good. And then there was and then pretty much just like everything went to shit and I felt really bad for her. Oh, and I think for Dany's chapter, it was hard to feel because there was so much that I had to keep trying to go back to the last Dany chapter. Like every single character, I had to like go back and be like, okay, that's this person, but that's this person, and that's this person. So it definitely took me a lot longer to read than needed, but it was good. And then Tyrion's was kind of just like genuinely nothing, but there was like a paragraph in there that like broke me and also made me almost made me start crying, but then I didn't because it was only a paragraph. So then I got to the end of the paragraph and
you got over it.
I didn't get over it, but like the paragraph was over, and then he moved on to describing Shay's body, so I was like, maybe not. This isn't gonna make me cry, you know? But
right.
But it was good. It was chilling. That was really detailed.
Well, yeah, you should have saved some of that for your summary.
No, I didn't say anything that happened. I just kind of said, I just gave vibes.
3, 2, 1, Daenerys.
Okay, we're at the city. Hero fights Belwas wins. Dany goes to check on her people. They all love her. Arstan gets revealed as Barristan when he saves her life from Miro. But then Arstan reveals Jorah, and then so now she's figuring out that she does want to use that, like the plan of using the sewers to get inside to the city, which I totally didn't mention before this point. Tyrion, well, you know, it's like night or whatever, and he's like, oh, Sansa still doesn't love me. She didn't even react when I told her, oh my gosh, but then I saw her crying, so yeah, yay. I snuck Shay in as one of her maids that I hired, and then he goes to see Shay, and he recalls a conversation with Varys, and him and Shay fuck, and then it's morning, and he leaves, and he's like, I'm gonna marry her off.
That's a minute.
That was kind of a good summary.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
It
helps that the chapter was 5 pages.
Hey, the other one was 20 pages, okay?
All right. Mm-hmm. All right.
I did good. Okay. That was probably one of my better summaries.
Yes.
I got everything.
You did.
Slay me.
So Daenerys.
Okay. I will start. Oh, that's the city name, Meereen. I couldn't remember
Meereen.
that. When I was doing the summary, I was like, no idea what it is. She comes and goes from cities so quickly, like, they have no meaning to me.
Yep, this one's Meereen, and it's bigger and badder than the other cities that she's conquered.
Yay. I need some help. So, Astapor is the one where we had the surprise attack from the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Young Kai is the one where it was the 3 people, and she gave them the ultimatum, and she got one of them drunk on wine, and one of them betrayed, and the other one escaped.
Not quite. The person that she got drunk on wine was Miro, the Titan's bastard, and his second sons, and he is also the one who disappeared.
Okay, gotcha.
And the third person was like somebody from within the city.
Okay, cool.
Who she was like, I'm going to give you till 3 days to decide. And then she was like, well, I never said I was going to attack. And then she attacks the very night.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then, so Undying was in Guise?
No, the Undying were in Karth.
Okay. Did we go to Guise?
Gis or Geese is like the general area. Like it's Old Gis is the entire area, and then it has like the 3 cities.
Oh, these 3 cities. So the current one and the last 2 are Guise altogether.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that. So yeah, we've gotten to Meereen, and you know, there's like a characteristic great pyramid. It's really large. And so Dario, who as we know is now with her, is there, and like she's with all her people, and we're looking at who's described as a hero, like whatever, like the champion who's come over from the city to like fight,
challenge them, yeah,
do like a little one-on-one combat. And he has a 14 feet long lance, which I was like, is this what? Okay, whatever. And he has like his armor, whatever. He's ready to do it. And he's like showing off and doing his thing. He's trying to get like the crowd all ramped up and cheering for him, you know?
And it's building confidence. Like every second that they don't go and meet his challenge, it's building confidence in his people and discord among Dany's people. And everybody wants to do it for Daenerys.
Yeah, they're like, let me go. And they pretty much, she even says like at one point, they almost start fighting with each other over fighting with this person. And then
they're indispensable. Like they all lead their own little factions. And Dany's like, I can't let you go. And she's also thinking about how she can't just ignore the champion and how the great masters of Meereen have burned everything around them so that there's nothing to eat, no trees to build, like war machinery, nothing. And to top it off, they nailed children on the mileposts from Yunkai to Marine, still alive with their insides hanging out and their arm pointing the direction to Marine.
What the
and
fuck?
There's 163 of these children, and it's
too much. And she's like, and Dario kind of tried to take all the children down before she saw them so she wouldn't be more upset, but she was like, dude, no. And
I will look them in their faces
and I will remember. I was like, damn.
Yeah, this is like this is like reaching cartoonish levels of evil, though.
Yeah.
What? People.
I don't even know. Because it's almost like, because the first city was just kind of like, hey, give us your dragons. And then the second one was like, we're going to challenge you. And now they're like going one step further, where like even before she gets there, they've already like destroyed everything. Mm-hmm. Not destroyed everything, but like destroyed a bunch of these resources. And it's just like, I don't even know, like as more people hear about like, because, you know, obviously word's spreading and like all of this, like, I don't know. I don't know. I just fear for what else is coming, you know? Because it kind of seems to be getting progressively worse.
Think there will be many more cities like this after?
I don't think there will be many more, but I would say, I feel like there would probably be like at least a couple more.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that has kind of resolved Daenerys to take the city even more, because she's like, those children. Yeah. So, the champion, the hero's name is Osnak Zopal.
Okay, Paul.
Doesn't matter. Died. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like real well known in the city, and people love him and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have Brown Ben Plum, who's our replacement for, what's his face? Miro, who shows up later. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Brown Ben Plum seems to be a lot more agreeable than Miro.
Yeah. And he also has a lot of experience with Paul, because he used to be a fighter in the pits of Marine, and he escaped. Oh my
which
gosh.
comes into play later, because they're trying to find a way to get into the city, and he's like, well, I escaped through the sewers, so you can try getting in through them,
but I ain't going fucking like, back there.
Yeah.
No.
So Daenerys is like, all right, bring Belwas, get him ready, he's gonna do this. And she kind of wants to see what he can do, because, you know, like from what she has seen him do is mostly just eat and lounge around. So
yeah,
this is an opportunity for him to show off.
Yeah.
And he does. So the first thing he says is, make sure you prepare a meal, because I'm gonna be hungry after I kill. Like,
and then the meal was not prepared, which was really funny.
No, he was expecting that shit to be there as soon as he turned around.
Yeah, basically.
Away from the other shit that he took. Okay, sorry. I just realized that I used the word shit, and then I was like,
oh
wait,
my gosh,
there's a thing there.
There's shit there?
Yeah.
Oh
so
gosh.
He goes up, and it's just, he brings like a sword and no armor, no nothing, and he dodges. So the guy, the hero, charges at him on his horse a few times, and Belwas just kind of dodges him a couple times, but then he takes down the guy's horse,
and
then
they actually kind of go at it.
Oh yeah, and then like Belwas gets like a little cut, not a little cut, like a cut on his stomach.
Yeah,
but then he takes care of it, like being the guy who he beheads. And one of the things this guy was doing was pissing in their direction and getting everybody on the walls of Marine to also piss in their direction. So Belwas is like, I'm gonna one up that, and I'm gonna shit in your face. And he
my gosh,
turns his back to Marine, takes a poopay. Sorry,
poopay.
That's Ted Lasso. Okay,
of course it is.
Because it's all I've been watching recently. Okay, so there's,
you know what confuses me about this though?
What?
Whatever his face was, the hero of Marine, you know? So, this guy's giving Major Joffrey to me. Because it's like, his uncle's, like, whatever. Because I remember he describes, like, his uncle, like, directs the city guard, and, like, his dad does this. But then it's like, okay, so is he one of the best fighters? Because that wasn't that good. Or is he just rich and spoiled, so he just kind of do...
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's supposed to be one of the best fighters.
Okay.
They're confident that he's going to win. They're not going to send out a champion that they don't think isn't going to win.
So they're just not very good at fighting, is what I'm getting.
No, Belwas is just extra.
Belwas is just extra. Okay. Fair. Okay, that's fair. Because I was just kind of like, okay, so why would they send this guy who's really bad at it? Is it just a Joffrey situation where he whined until he got it? Like...
No, I think it's like an honor that like is supposed to be, but like, you know, he's the hero of the city.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's bullshit honor.
Interesting. Okay.
Performative chivalry kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So...
But yeah, he's like, get me my food. And Dany's like, dude, you need to get that cut checked out, because she's thinking about the Drogo shit, and I'm like, okay, so valid, but like also he's probably good, but you know, I do get it checked out, but like also get him food.
Yeah. Also, he lets everybody who fights him cut him once so that he can keep count. So
wow,
his like stomach, his chest area is just covered in cuts because he has killed that many people.
Wow, that's so fun. There was a fun little moment where she called him a big bald baby. Which
yeah, because really he was like being too stubborn.
Which I really enjoyed. I was like, slay Dany.
Yeah. They're talking about how they got to do this soon because they don't got no food. Mm-hmm. And they want to get into the city because there's a lot of food and other resources in there. Yeah. And she's like, well, let's build some siege towers and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we have no wood. Mm-hmm. And the other suggestion, like Brown Ben Plum, is like, well, you could just try bursting either of those through the gates. But in the time that it takes you, they will pelt you with boiling oil, and that's no good. Mm-hmm. And fucking Dario turns to Grey Worm and is like, oh, y'all don't feel no pain, so why don't you just go ahead and do that?
Dario, go fuck yourself.
And Grey Worm is like, well, we may not feel it the same way, but we still die from it, so we'll do it if you ask, but, like, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
And Daenerys is like, hell no, we're not doing that stuff. And Brown Ben Plum is like, yeah, I'm not going to do that for no amount of money, because there are old sellswords and bold sellswords, but no old, bold sellswords, which I liked.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Dany's not willing to sacrifice the Unsullied for that. Mm-hmm. And there's also like concern about the drinking water, which they're getting from the river that all of Meereen shits into. Oh my lord. So there's like illness going around and it's no good. Mm-hmm. And there's this moment where so Jorah is the one kind of relaying this concern. Then he says the slaves are weak from the march. Freedmen, Dany corrected. They are slaves no longer. Slave or free, they're hungry and they'll soon be sick. Like, blah, blah, blah. I hate Jorah, so I'm always looking for reasons to hate him more. But the way he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, instead of being like, oh, yes, my mistake. Let me correct that because it does suck. Yeah. Like, that is not the way to talk about people.
Yeah. No, you can tell he really only cares about this because Dany's enforcing it.
Yeah. So, reminder, he was a slaver himself. And he sucks balls still. Yeah. Yeah. And, what is it? Oh, he's like, you should just go on to Westeros. Forget about all this. And Daenerys' whole thing is, well, if I can't conquer this, then how can I conquer Westeros? Mm-hmm. And Jorah, I gotta give him this point. He does say that by the time they get to Westeros, she'll have, like, her dragons will be grown and she can take it with the dragons. Yeah. Which is a good point.
See, this is tough because it's like, obviously, like, we want to, like, do what's right and, like, help as many people as we can. And I understand that, like, Dany wants to make every attempt to do that. But also, I feel like it's only a matter of time. Like, yeah, we might be able to do it with the city, but we're not gonna be able to do it with the next, and then the one after that. Like, it's just like there's like, you have to choose your battles, especially in the position that she's in, where she's getting more and more people that, like she kind of has this responsibility to support, but she really, like, can't support at all. So it's just, like...
Yeah.
It's, like, you gotta try and find solutions for what you already have and kind of go from there. Because, like, you can really only do so much, you know? Like... And it just sucks because
does that mean that you should stop trying? It's a big philosophical question for which I don't have the brain bandwidth right now.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying she should walk away. I'm not saying she should walk away from this city because, you know, it looks like there might be something to do here. But I just feel like, first item, like, maybe we can try to get food. So, quickest way to get food.
Right, that is the other thing, because all the people that she's freed are now reliant on her, and she has no way to feed and take care of them already.
Yeah, so that's another reason that this city makes sense, that it's like, we're here right now, let's, like, free more people and also get that access to food. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is, Dany's biggest reasoning isn't even the food. Like, for her personally, like, I know the people beside her are like, oh yeah, and we'll get the food, and we'll get the gold and the silver. But for her, it's like, you can tell that the biggest reason is, like, freeing these people. So I feel like even if that wasn't part of the conversation, she would still be doing this. And
yeah,
I don't know, I just feel like it's like, we can't do that every time. You know?
Yeah, because instead of poorly taking care of 1 million people, she could take care of 500,000 people better. Like, this is a noble cause, but it's worth doing it well.
And it's just like, you know, thinking about her end mission, like, this is still something that she can work towards and pursue. Like, it's not like she's giving up on these people and leaving them. Like, even her comment about, like, I'm gonna remember their faces, yeah, that's true. They're still gonna haunt her, so she can continue to do something about that once she gets to that better position of actually being able to do something about it. You know? Rather than right now she doesn't have the resources to help everyone. So it's still, like I think it's still right to leave for now and then come back when she can.
Right. Like, if, say, she frees the people of Marine, then she moves on and they all follow her. And then once again, the starving cycle kind of continues.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, like, we all eat and then maybe we try to establish, like, keep some people back to, like, kind of form their own new type of city. But it's like, if no one's had that experience of knowing anything other than slavery, then how are we like, do you know what I mean? Who leads if no one has the experience of not having... So there's just so much. There's so much to think about. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big conversation, and we're going to have this multiple times, so let's not get bogged down now.
But yeah, I do, like, I respect it, but I think also just... with some of her ideas, it's very much like her inexperience almost shows through too. Like, just some of the stuff where she's, like, constantly like, okay, or we could do this, and then it's instantly like, oh, we can't do that, like, we don't have wood. You know, so there's just some things where I'm just worried about her because of her inexperience and how it's coming out.
Yeah, well, so far, except for the people who have betrayed her, like, she does have people around who can counsel her on those things.
Yeah. And
some of these bigger questions of, like, slavery or no slavery kind of thing.
But I think even with stuff like, yes, the bigger questions on slavery or no slavery, do we leave, do we stay, you know? But I think even the smaller things of her being like, oh, I'm safe amongst my people, I'll just take Arston. You know, even smaller stuff like that is, like, her inexperience with everything really goes 100%. Through. Like, as much as life as she has gone through, she's still, like, what, like 12? 10, 12, I think 13?
She's 16.
Oh, okay. Well, still, like, she hasn't done a lot.
She's a child.
Like, she is a baby, you know? So it's just like,
yeah,
I'm just worried. And then on top of that, she has emotions and crushes, and then she has to be like, sorry, I can't think about liking someone because I have to save the fucking world.
Yeah.
Girl's got a lot to do.
She's like, okay, I'll think about the sewers thing, and then she dismisses the council. And as Brown Ben Plum is leaving, Viserion, one of the dragons, goes over and like hangs out with him. And apparently he has some Targaryen blood.
Slay,
and he's descended from Lord something Plum.
It just says there was some old Plum.
Okay, so they're like some Lord Plum who married a Targaryen, and he is descended from them, even though he doesn't have any of like the physical characteristics of Targaryens. I think I buy it. They're like, Targaryens were fucking around enough that they would have descendants everywhere.
Yeah, I believe
and
it.
Also, I just love adding to the everybody's a Targaryen theory.
Yep. Please.
So that's a cool little tidbit. This is when Dany's thinking about Dario and how beautiful he is and her crush on him and all of that, and how he brought her flowers every day of the ride to help her learn the land, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
And she's like comparing him to Jorah, and then she's like, Jorah's gonna be angry if I take him to bed.
I'll just marry
like,
both of them. Girl, what the fuck?
Yeah, he said I could take... Yeah.
Girl, you... Like,
how about none of them?
Do not settle. Wait around. Like, literally, you're gonna have people lining up. You do not have to settle for these random men.
And also, marriage is one of the most powerful tools she has in her arsenal.
She can't
for
just
like
marry anyone. Like,
yeah.
She's like, oh, whatever, I'll just get it over with. Like, no. What are you doing?
Well, she does acknowledge that these were foolish thoughts, and she had a city to take, so let's get on with it.
Yeah.
So she calls for her horse to be brought, and she'll take Arstan as guard, because she's just going to be in her own camp. She's totally safe. And she passes, like, the Unsullied camp and notices them drilling and also, like, bathing themselves, because, like, the rest of the people just don't be bathing.
This compare and contrast was really interesting.
Yeah, she's like, oh, the rest of them smell like they hadn't changed their clothes or washed since her father lost the Iron Throne.
Please. I'm dead.
But the Unsullied bathe every day, so that's good. And then she is finally among the freed people, and she's thinking about how she armed them with the weapons and, you know, organized the people that could fight, but they're still like, they're just hanging out. Like, there's no drilling going on here. They're not organized like that. And people are like running up to her, trying to touch her, say, like, talk to her, because she's like their savior, their mother, whatever, all of that. And she's talking to somebody when somebody else grabs her hand real rough and just pulls her off of her horse and onto the ground. And she finally realizes that it's Miro, the Titan's bastard, who was the leader of the Second Sons until he kind of like disappeared in the battle at Yunkai. And apparently he's been hiding among the freed people by shaving his head and beard and just waiting for a chance for revenge. So he tries to come at her, but Arstan steps in and takes real good care of that. Like, he is...
Even better. I was just really confused, because I think there was a moment where she says, oh, he was moving so quickly, I didn't even know what was going on. But she says the same thing when fucking, what's the other dude, Belwas and the hero champion dude were fighting. So I was like... Yeah,
but Belwas is also really good.
Yeah. So I was just kind of thinking, like, I was like, oh, like, I was just kind of like, oh, like, that's interesting, like, they're both really... And then I think just because she kind of made that connection of kind of saying the same thing about both of them, I was like, oh, wow, like, Belwas has taught him really good, like, he must be really... Like, he's had him for a while, because he's so old, so he must be really, like, he must have genuinely taught him, like, I was giving, like, all the credit to Belwas. Little did I fucking know, man!
And so she is, like, impressed by him, and once she's back in her tent and Jorah comes to her and she's like, the fuck, why didn't you tell me that Miro had escaped? Which I was confused about, because I thought that she knew Miro had escaped.
Yeah, but this I was gonna ask you about too, because didn't we know that he ran away? Like, wasn't that the whole plot point? Can a listener clarify?
Or maybe I think she said, like, maybe it was like she said told Jorah to like hunt him down, and Jorah was like, don't worry about it, we'll find him. And then
but
he just never gave her an update.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was taken aback by this too. So somebody find that verse, please, and tell us.
Because I swear it was, oh, he ran away. And then I remember you making me predict and me being like, he'll come back somehow. Like, I remember saying that.
Oh, yeah, I did do that because I remembered this part.
Exactly. And I remember specifically saying, oh, he'll be back someday. Because obviously, like, run away, where's he gonna go? Like, his entire, you know? But, I mean, I didn't think he'd be in her camp, but I figured he would come back. And I remember saying that to you. So why would I have said that if we hadn't had that verse of him running away?
No, you're right. So this was maybe like an oversight on George R. R. Martin's part where he himself forgot what Dany did and didn't know.
Honestly, so valid, though. There's too much going on.
Yeah. And like you said, there's too many goddamn people in these chapters.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, Whitebeard here saved my life and I want him knighted. And both of them say no. And Jorah says no because he's like, this guy, like, the Titan's bastard was something and he killed him? I don't believe you for being a squire. What the hell are you? And, you know, Arstan just comes out and says, a better knight than you. And then he kind of like says, oh, I was a squire once for this other guy. And I've served Belwas, but in between, I was a knight.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't tell you any lies. I just withheld some truths.
Please. Oh my gosh.
And Jorah, like, looks at him at this point and is like, oh my god. Miro shaved his beard, but you grew one, didn't you? And I thought you looked familiar. And then he's the one to be like, that is Barristan Selmy, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, who betrayed your house to serve the usurper. And, you know, the whole, like, thing, and Daenerys is like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? And why did you save me if you served the usurper? And kind of Barristan has this, like, real emotional moment where he's got tears in his eyes. And he says, yeah, I served Robert and I took his pardon. And then I served with a Kingslayer and others near as bad who soiled the White Cloak of War. Nothing will excuse that. And he's just really regretful. And what is it? Yeah, he's like, all I want to do is just die at the true king's. All I wanted to do was die at the true king's service. So that's why I came seeking you.
Man, this was.
If you're gonna kill me, go ahead. Although he was in the Kingsguard. Jaime was in the Kingsguard. Jaime knew how bad the Mad King was. Yeah. Did Barristan not know how bad the Mad King was?
Yeah, but Jaime was also...
Or maybe he doesn't want to bring that up right now because he's trying to get into her good graces and being like...
Also, I think two things. So first, Jaime knew the Mad King a lot better than I think the others in the Kingsguard would know because he was kept close. Like, he was constantly kept right there. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And I think just because of that hate for Tywin, I think he got the worst end of it. And then I think second thing, because Barristan had that whole thing about, like, you know, like I serve, I'm honorable, whatever. So I think it's kind of like that like serving the realm overtakes like I'm serving a bad person. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost because his thing is his like honorableness is different than like Ned's. Do you know what I mean? Because Ned's is more like
it's kind of like Varys's, who was like I work for the good of the realm, and Barristan hooked up with Illyrio, who we know is in cahoots with Varys.
Yeah, I definitely think this is like, he got kicked out, and then Varys was like, hey buddy, before you leave, let me give you Illyrio's number, who's a good friend of mine, who can get you hooked up.
Yeah, look him up when you're in Pentos.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely part of my theories. But yeah, like, I just feel like that's his whole thing. Because he's like, I'm doing the right thing, even if I'm doing it with the wrong person. I don't know why he has that voice, but he does.
He also, we get kind of slight detail that I can't remember if we knew or not. So we knew that Joffrey like told him to retire, and then he had that whole like fuck you and fuck your retirement thing. But apparently Joffrey or like Cersei or all of the above sent people to kill Barristan afterwards instead of just letting him just go off into retirement, which in a way it makes sense because he did say like, I'm gonna go the real king.
I feel like that wasn't really an okay show of public I guess outcry. Like that wasn't really acceptable for the Lannisters, whatever. But also
yeah
I don't know if this is a little crackpot and crackhead theory. Crackhead. However, what if it was like, I don't know, what if this was like Varys just being like, Varys sending like fake people and then being like, oh, now do you want to go to Illyrio? Like, do you know what I mean? Just stirring the pot a little bit more. Because maybe Varys wants Dany.
I don't think he would even need to. I kind of think, but you know what? Joffrey and Cersei are short-sighted enough to like overlook that. Mm-hmm. But Joffrey would totally be outraged at somebody like disrespecting him. So it could be either or.
Just because I feel like...
But that's interesting for you to say that Viserys would stir the pot.
Because Varys has an interesting like, I serve the realm, but we've also had a few moments where it almost seems like he wants Dany. You know? So I feel like, sending someone as capable as Barristan, who also has a lot of great intel from like years, I feel like is kind of like a little like throwing Dany a bone, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
And this was so interesting because like this was and Jorah's just trying to shut him up at every turn before he says something. He's like, oh my god, like I knew that I must find my true king and die in his service. And Jorah's like, I can grant that wish. Like he's just trying to shut him up before he gets to the part about him.
Yeah, and Barristan's like, well, if it ain't the pot calling the kettle black, well, no, he doesn't even say you. While I was on the council, we got reports of everything you were doing from an inside informer who has been beside you since the day you wed Khal Drogo. And Daenerys is like, wait, that can't be. And when she's like, Jorah, that's not right? Jorah just is like, he does admit to it. He's like, well, fuck. It was only at the beginning, before I came to know you, before I came to love you. Shut up.
Oh my gosh.
And she's thinking about her prophecy from the Undying.
So Barristan knows this because of the years of receiving the report or whatever, right? But when Barristan got kicked out, was Jorah still actively giving the reports? Or
we don't actually know when he stopped giving the reports.
I feel like...
we do know he told of her pregnancy because then they sent that like assassin. Right. We don't know after that.
Right, okay. Because I'm just thinking like... because then Barristan doesn't know that he is actually loyal now. So we think. Yeah, you know? Like, do you know what I mean?
So you think Jorah is loyal now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, even if it is for gross pedophile type reasons.
Yeah. He's like, if I can't be with my wife, this is the next best thing. Gross.
Yeah.
Icky.
Yeah, so Daenerys immediately flashes back to the Undying, predicting that she would be betrayed twice more, once for gold and once for love. And she's like, which one is this? What did they promise you? And he's like, well, I just wanted to go home. And she's like, well,
I almost felt bad for him in this moment.
Almost, but I hate him, his guts so much. But she is like, I was gonna take you home. Dude. Yeah. And she's just like, get the fuck out of my face. Get out and go. And then she like thinks to herself and is like, what can I do with these guys? And then she's like, maybe I do know. And it doesn't say what, but we assume that she's gonna send them into the sewers.
Yes. Maybe it'll be a race. Who can get
So
there
you think
quicker.
she's going to send them to the sewers? Do you think they'll be successful in, I don't know, somehow getting that to as a way to infiltrate the city or something?
I think so.
So she gets Marine?
Yes.
Will they survive that adventure?
Barristan might die. Because he's pretty old.
He just became Barristan again.
I know, but tragic things just constantly happen in this series. I honestly feel like that. Because I feel like, okay, here's what I also think. Barristan, like, he literally has been there since his entire youth. And he's old now. Like, he's been there through multiple kings.
He's actually, I feel like he served the king before the Mad King as well.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
Bestie,
I don't know that for a fact. I may be making that up.
but it feels like that's true. So it's like, he just, even beyond helping her get the throne, he just has so much insight into, like, because she doesn't know anything about her grandfathers, you know? Like, she doesn't, like, do you know what I mean? Like, even that, like, emotional
Why
connection.
grandfather specifically, or do you mean just ancestors?
Isn't it her grandfather?
Who's your Mad King's her father.
Oh, oops. Whatever, it's fine. I know what I'm talking about. Her ancestors. Like, it's like, there's that personal connection of, like, tell me about my dad. Then there's that, like, there's, like, the war stuff, which is, like, he, like, fucking, like, also, does he know all the Jon Arryn stuff? Does he know it's Jaime's? Like, like, is that all stuff? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he must, right? Like, he's not oblivious. Because he even said, like, at one point, he was like, oh, like, I had to turn a blind eye to the Lannisters bullshit, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we know. Like, we assume, because he was still probably in King's Landing when... Because who did Ned tell?
Basically just, like, Renly. And Peter?
No, yeah. Ned disputed it when they made Joffrey king, and Barristan was still the guard. So he knows that Ned thought it. And he probably has put it together, like, yeah, it's probably the case.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really matters, because, like, to Daenerys, whether Joffrey's a Baratheon or a Lannister doesn't really matter. She's gonna take him down anyway.
Yeah, but it's still just, like, he knows so much, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's, like, if they encounter people, then, like, he can tell them, you know? So it's still, like, this useful weapon that she pretty much has now. And it's just, like,
now
he's
we
just
finally have
cool.
the mystery solved, though, that, like, I asked you all the time, like, where is Barristan?
Yeah, because he was like, I'm gonna go be with the true king, and we were like, the fuck does that mean? You liked Stannis, right? You guys were friends?
Yeah. Okay, so they're gonna do this. She's gonna get Marine. Yay, victory. Then she moves on to another city, does the same thing.
I think she goes to... I think she'll try to do that, but that's where things might start falling apart. Like, I feel like it would be a better idea to, like, just kind of genuinely, like, move forward instead of just moving through everything. Yeah.
Like, use that money, buy some ships, and get on over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like, I think we missed it earlier, but they were like, she has, like, 20,000 fighters now, but 80,000 people.
Yeah, she has the army. She just doesn't have a way to get the army there.
We just gotta buy some shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. But then she would also, logistical things later. She's gonna encounter troubles once she tries to move on to the next thing. Cool.
Okay. So, Jorah's sad. Not Jorah's sad. Jorah's like, oh, I could have gotten to go home. So I'm a little confused what they think's gonna happen when you exile people. Like, to me, this feels like a bad plan. Because then it's like, okay, you're letting this person go, and it's like, okay, never come to, like...
No, they didn't exile him. Ned Stark was gonna behead his head.
And then they were like, go spy.
No. So he sells some poachers to slavers.
Yeah.
Hence crime. So Ned Stark's like, I'm gonna behead your ass.
Yeah.
Ned Stark goes to make his way over to Bear Island, where Jorah has figured out he's about to get his ass beheaded, so he flees. He goes to the free cities. Then his wife abandons him. And then he's a sad little man. And then he's like, okay, now I want to go back home. And then the way he thinks he'll do that is by spying on Dany.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like they exiled him and were like, go find Dany.
No,
I thought
no.
the exile was the punishment. So I was like, that makes no sense, because now you're letting this person who commit crimes to go.
That's why when Ned was like, we're taking his, like, spy messages when he should really be dead. Like,
Okay,
Ned is
that
disgusted
makes
with
sense.
that.
Because I was like, otherwise we're just like, okay, so now they go find new people and make them hate you? Like, this feels like a dumb plan, but okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so he, like, ran away.
He was gonna get iced.
Ha ha ha. Iced up looking like that.
Okay. Any more predictions here?
Oh, Dario? I don't like Dario's guts. I know it's like supposed to be like a cute little romance, but I'm now jaded for everything. And I just feel like, I don't know, it's just like, yes.
You also suggest that letting the Unsullied die under boiling oil thing.
Yeah, but like, yes, but like, I feel like trying to find genuinely good people in this world, like, just isn't a thing. So, like, sometimes you just gotta take what you can get in this world. Don't do that in the real world, people.
Don't settle for me.
Exactly. But I feel like, that, yes, very big ick. However, that aside, he's just like, even just like the small ways that he like kind of not defies Dany, but it's almost like he's acting like her boyfriend instead of someone under her
command,
like, protection and command, you know? Like he's like, oh babe, like you shouldn't see these like children, whatever, like, and like it was nice, but it's like you wouldn't do that if it was any other commander that you weren't attracted to, you know?
Yeah.
You would have been like, hey commander, like this is the stuff we found.
And other than attraction, it's also misogyny. He's like, this sight isn't for the eyes of women.
Yeah, that too. It's like, stupid. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't like Dario. However, he serves right now, so maybe it'll be okay.
Daddy needs a distraction from all the war and stuff.
Okay, valid.
A girl can daydream.
A girl can daydream. But okay. So I was thinking about, because when they first brought up the sewers and then she was like, I need time to think about it, my brain, I was like, oh, like maybe she could send like a handmaid or something, because they're like not that she'd want to, but like if it has to be someone
but like what would
reliable,
they do once they get through?
I don't know. Like open the gates, like I don't know, like something, you know?
Yeah, I just hate the idea of anybody having to go through the sewers. And I'm totally okay with Jorah going through the sewers.
The poor Barristan man. Like, he's old and frail. Like, I genuinely fear for his life. But also...
He's older, but like, I feel like he's maybe in his 50s. So he's not like Walder Frey old.
I know, but he's still like there's enough things to battle down in the sewers. You don't need to like...
That's true. They do talk about the things in the sewers other than the shit.
Yeah, you don't need, like, you don't need your age also not helping you, you know? And, no. But yeah, anyway, sorry, what I was saying earlier, I realized I didn't really finish my thought. But yeah, because he's so valuable and because he can contribute so much, George R. R. Martin won't let Dany keep him. It'll be like they have one, it'll be like right before he heads into the sewer, it'll be like, you know, I knew your father. And she'll be like, yeah, of course you fucking did. You served under him for years. Like, what is this bullshit that you're trying to convince me to not send you? And then he'll just die. Like every, you know, wise old character in these books in general. But
okay.
I was also thinking, like, you know, I kind of was like, oh my god, what if she sends Jorah? But then I was like, no, but he definitely, like, set some sort of ultimatum. He'd be like, okay, but if I go, you have to marry me. And then she'd be like, never fucking mind.
Yeah, he totally would have done that if he were in the doghouse right now. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So then I was like, okay, she might have to, but I hope she doesn't. So I was concerned, but...
So in a way, it worked out.
Exactly. She didn't have to...
Win-win.
She didn't
Jorah
have to...
gets the shit, and Dany gets the city.
Slay. Slay.
All right.
We love that.
Tyrion?
Yes.
All right, so Tyrion is laying beside Sansa while she sleeps, and she's dreaming real hard, like her eyes. She's in the REM sleep cycle, you know. And
I don't know if Tyrion knows that.
Well, we know that basically. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he and she, you know, and he
what?
and she. And
what?
No, so he told her about the Red Wedding. She was upset, obviously, but wouldn't show her emotions in front of him because she cannot trust him because he be the Lannister that...
So valid.
Yeah.
So valid, queen.
But he does spare her some of the horrid details of the Red Wedding, some of which she refused to acknowledge herself.
It's fine.
And...
Even her tears she hoards to herself.
Yeah. And he is feeling like, you know, he's like, I swore to protect her, and what am I doing for her? Like, he feels guilty about that. And that's what having a conscience gets you.
She had lost her home, her place in the world, and everyone she had ever loved or trusted. Winter is coming, warned the Stark words, and truly it had come for them with a vengeance. But it's high summer for House Lannister, so why am I so bloody cold? That broke me.
Because you have a heart, Tyrion. You have a heart.
I was like, literally, fuck all of these people. Walder Frey can go die in a fucking hole, and all his kids can start yelling things at him, and everyone can throw apples at him, and everyone can mayhaps him to hell. And yeah, anyway, I hate Walder Frey, and Bolton, and Tywin, and everyone.
On that note... He gets up and gets dressed, and we learn that they have now moved into new quarters out of Maegor's Holdfast and into what used to be Lord Giles's apartments near the kitchen keep. So that's easy access to the food. Room service, anyone? So yeah, that's good, and he's glad to be farther away from Cersei because no one wants that. And he's got a new... person that runs his household named Brella, who used to run Renly's household and came upon and was recommended by Varys because she knows how to keep quiet about things.
Renly.
Yeah. So he makes his way like down to the cellars and then into like the secret passageways which we're heard about. And eventually he goes to the room with the dragon skulls.
Rip Arya.
And Shay is there waiting for him. And this is, I guess, where they meet to sex it out these days. Yeah, and they're just like... They're talking about basically nothing worth talking about. Not nothing. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm worried about my wife. And then she's like, you should give her dream wine and just drug her to sleep. It'll be fine. And
yeah, Shay is now one of Sansa's maids, so she's kind of right there, and they can meet to fuck it out all the time.
At one point, he's like, oh, all the sweet innocence of the world was in her voice. And then he, like, in his brain, kind of scolds himself and is like, innocence? Dude, she's a sex worker. She knows how to work you, and she's doing exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think it's that she's really good at her job or that she genuinely cares for Tyrion?
I feel like we talk about this every single Tyrion
but what
chapter
is it right
with
now?
Shay in it. I don't know, man. I feel like either way it's okay, and I don't know, because there's literally no way to tell.
Fair enough. I just like to think that she's a real professional, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, so now she is Sansa's maid, and Varys is like, has warned Tyrion about that it's harder to hide stuff from Cersei than it was from the Stokeworths.
Mm-hmm.
And if Cersei finds out and asks me about Shay, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell her what's what. Because I have served you loyally, but I must also serve your sister when I can. Otherwise, she will no longer think me useful alive.
Valid. Man's got to save
honestly,
himself.
I don't blame Varys for this. He has got too many secrets of too many people. Sometimes you just gotta let some go.
Yeah, and yeah, this isn't one risking everything over, because this is just, like, Tyrion knows, like, bro, you can't do this. Like, if you get caught, like, shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, it's Tyrion is choosing to take the risk, even though, really, it is the risk on Shay's life. But he's the one making that decision, so...
Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, then he's like, after they have sex, he thinks about, oh, maybe I should tell Sansa about Shay, and Sansa might be like happy that, you
like,
know,
I'm not gonna get her to. I'm not gonna try and have sex with her because I'm
getting it elsewhere.
This was such a low blow, man. Ugh, I can't trust her. She literally betrayed her own dad. But she didn't fucking know, dude.
I know. She has gotten real... She's grown up.
It's like, I hate it, because in my mind I still blame her for it, but then I think about it and I'm like, okay, but she was literally, like, she didn't fucking know, but then it's still just like, I just want to blame someone, you know?
I no longer blame her for it. It's just in the moment, it's really frustrating, because it leads to...
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, the right thing to do would be to send Shay away, and I could, you know, get her to work at Chataya's, and that's like a well-known place. Yeah. Or if she wants, I could get her married to some knight. And he's thinking back to this knight that he's noticing her. Or he's like, maybe Bronn can get married to her because he's a knight now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but then even in his own thoughts, he's like, I think about this all the time, but I never make it happen because I don't want her to go away. Mm-hmm. And I just want to be loved, and nobody loves me. Mm. And then it starts getting a little lighter out, and then he says, a new day, a new year, a new century. And it is the day of Joffrey's wedding.
Whoa.
So, yay, wedding.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then, you know, Shay bids him farewell with my giant of Lannister, I love you so. And Tyrion's like, yeah, well, I love you too, and you deserve better than what I can give you, so I guess I'm gonna marry you to Sir Tollid. Mm-hmm. Sir Tollid, he seems a decent man, and tall, and his last name is Tollid. I guess the tall part is just Tyrion being self-deprecating, but it is funny to me that the word tall is literally in the guy's name. Okay, that's that. That's the chapter. Yeah. Predictions. So this is the day of the wedding.
Here's what I think, right? So this chapter was like kind of nothing. And I feel like the whole purpose of this chapter being nothing was just to let us know the headspace that Sansa is in, so we have context for Sansa's next actions.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because otherwise this is nothing. Like, we already know all this. I feel like it's what was his face? Her Florent or whatever. Not her Florent. Her Flounder. No, wrong series.
Florent is like the fairy tale name, but Sir Dantos.
Dantos, yeah. I feel like, Dantos probably, because it's like she has nothing to lose.
So she's going to try to escape.
Yeah.
And Dantos did say, like, Joffrey's wedding or after Joffrey's wedding or something.
Yeah, because it's not like they're gonna kill her mom if she... you know? Like, she may as well now, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, because Sansa and Arya are so different, like, that's such an Arya thing to do, but I don't know, I have a hard time like, because also Sansa, it could also just, you know, throw her down a further, like, depression hole, but I would like to hope that that's not what happens.
But maybe this, like, her family dying has finally pushed her over the edge to be like, yeah,
I'm taking control of my own shit. But I just don't know, you know, because it could genuinely be either. So, I don't know.
Okay. How's the wedding gonna be with the 77 courses?
Chaotic.
How are people gonna eat 77 courses?
Throw it up and then
So is it
do
just,
the next
oh
one?
yeah, they're gonna do the Hunger Games, like
Yeah,
eat, throw up, just so they can keep eating?
basically.
Bloody rich people.
Yep.
Eat the rich, eat them, and all their 77 courses. Oh, it'll also be so traumatic to be at a wedding thinking about how your family died at a wedding.
Yep.
Right?
Didn't even think about that. Yep.
Man, as long as Sansa doesn't die at this one.
Don't say that.
Do you think anybody will die? Maybe they'll just die from overindulgence.
Please.
Or from like the Dornish and the what are they called? Tyrells fighting.
That would be beautiful. I'd love to see some Lannisters die. I feel like Jaime will also probably get back on this day. It would be pretty auspicious.
Oh, I didn't even think about Jaime. No, honestly, I like totally forgot that he's on his way.
Yeah, so Jaime's gonna walk in through the door as they're wrapping the cloaks around.
But then Jaime also has Brienne, so maybe Sansa can do that instead of the Dantos plan.
That would be beautiful if they don't do something to Brienne first.
Yeah. Okay. Fun times. All right. Next chapters.
Yay.
Okay, so wait. I was listening to the episode with Emily, and you were talking about how you like count the pages and stuff, and I get that, but I feel like I should be doing the counting for you, just in case you accidentally spoil yourself. Like,
yeah, but then you have to do that. We've talked about this before, but then you have to do that
Well, I did
every
the counting
time.
for these chapters. Why don't I just tell you, and then you can write it down, and then you don't have to go spoiling yourself.
Don't go spoiling my heart. I couldn't if I tried. Do you know what I'm referencing?
It sounds familiar, but I can't
It's
put my
Grease.
finger on it. Okay, yeah, I knew it was musical related. So we're reading 2 chapters next time. Give me your hopes and predictions.
I would love to see... Well, I think we're going to see Sansa next. And then I would love to see Sansa and Jon.
Okay, yeah, we just saw Jon, but sure.
We can never have enough of Jon.
We are reading... Okay, so we're reading chapters 59, 60. Is that right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
What? Okay, sorry. So chapters 59 and 60. Chapter 59 is, in fact, Sansa.
Fucking knew it. Everything I just said is gonna happen. Yeah, basically.
The page count for this is 9 pages.
Okay, perfect.
That's like a really good amount of pages.
Yeah, that's chillin'.
Chapter 60 is Tyrion.
Oh my, already?
Yeah.
Is he gonna get caught with... You know what I think it is? Okay, both of these chapters are gonna be wedding related, and the Sansa one will be like her escaping that shit, and then the Tyrion one will be he gets caught fucking Shay as Jaime walks in through the door.
Okay. Wait, and sorry, Sansa what? Sansa's gonna
Sansa
escape?
escapes.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. So Sansa escapes and Shay dies.
Yay!
Well, the last wedding we were at, a whole bunch of people died. So it makes sense that somebody dies at this one.
Please, I can't.
And this chapter has... Oh, this is a long one. It's 20 pages.
Oh my Lanta. All right, we will see how that goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to carve out some time for these ones, I think.
Yes, do. Yeah, the Tyrion one, I was looking at because I assess the time that it'll take me to read based on the audiobook. Even though I don't always listen to the audiobook, it just gives me a sense of how long.
Yeah.
And this Tyrion's chapter was over an hour of audio.
What? That's wackadoodle.
Yeah, so that's 20 pages. Anyway, so those are our predictions. Do you want to read some emails?
Yes, sir.
So we have several emails. Let's read as many as we can.
Emotionally.
And yes, that too. Like physically and emotionally. So the first email is actually from July 13th. and it went to our spam folder, which I randomly checked one day, but that was the first time I checked it. So folks, if you sent us an email and it was not read on the podcast, unless there was like a thing like don't read this on the podcast, send it again, because there's a chance that it was put in spam for some reason, and then because the spam like clears out every 30 days. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep checking it from now on, now that I know it's a thing. But anyway, so this one is titled Q for the Pod, and it's by Oliver. So it says, "Hi, Navanharmouth. Spoilers for spoilers for chapter 51 of A Storm of Swords," which was the Catelyn everybody dies chapter. Oliver says,
this was sent before. This was sent like 2 weeks before that episode came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm glad we're reading it now.
Yeah.
So Oliver says, "I've been silently listening and greatly enjoying the podcast for nearly a year, and thought now, for no particular reason, was a good time as any to get involved with
You're
the
so
emailing."
funny, Oliver. Oh my gosh. You all just love my misery.
Emailing in Discord, seeing as I've heard you so politely ask 100 times.
It's fine, okay? I'm intense, but it's good.
I think that was not meant to be sarcastic, but I think my voice made it sarcastic, because that's how I feel about it, because we're so aggressive sometimes.
It's okay.
By
I'm okay with
I mean you.
I'm okay with being aggressive because some people are polite but bastards, so I'd rather be aggressive but kind.
That's a good way to be. Anyway, so my question for the pod is, which A Song of Ice and Fire wedding has been your favorite / would be your favorite to attend?
You're actually so funny, Oliver. I hate this, but I also love it. Please.
There's a stunning array of romantic choices available, such as A, the completely unproblematic marriage of Dany and Drogo, which bears no resemblance to bridal slavery at all. That's just unfounded anti-Viserys propaganda. B, Sansa's loving and respectful acceptance by her new Lannister-in-laws in a lavish ceremony, just as she had always dreamed. Or C, the beautiful union of Edmure and Rosalind Frey, meticulously planned by gracious Lord Walder.
Oh my
I heard the
God.
musicians really killed it.
That's bad laughing at this, but it's really funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is kind of the perfect... I feel like this was like destined to be sent into spam, because if you read this any time before this, I would not be okay with it. I would not be okay with it. But it's like kind of funny now. Not in a funny way, but in like a let's all be miserable together way, you know? Yeah.
Anyway, here's to many more wonderful weddings in the upcoming chapters and books, and hopefully I can chime in now and then in the Discord. Oliver, him, sends his regards. P.S. Stop bullying noble Lord Edmure, glorious protector of the Riverlands.
Please? Are you an Edmure fangirl, Oliver? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh my gosh.
I mean, apparently he's still alive, so... You know what? I don't hate him as much anymore, because he's like the only family Sansa has left.
Okay, so true. You know what? Yeah, I actually hate that.
So Sansa, sorry, I just called you Sansa. So Harmut, which wedding would you like to attend of these three?
Fictional character. I would like to attend. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, Sansa, Edmure, and Dany. I mean, I would probably die at Dany's wedding, so maybe not.
You would also die at Edmure's wedding, unless you were a Frey.
Maybe I could just be a Frey. I could be Walda Frey. The unproblematic one. Like Bolton's wife.
Fat Walda.
Yeah.
Bruce Bolton's wife?
Yeah. Not that I'd, like, want to be married to Bruce Bolton in any universe, but, like, you know, maybe that could be my I can fix him arc. You know? Like,
If leeches couldn't fix him, no one can.
I'm dead. But or
so Red Wedding, Frey,
or wait, what was the last option? Oh, Sansa. I mean, other than Sansa, everyone else seemed to be doing okay at the wedding. So maybe Sansa's wedding, because other than seeing like the bride cry, like it probably would have been okay for like food and stuff. Like it wouldn't have been as like lavish as like Joffrey's wedding, but like you could just go to yeah, you know what? I'll go to Sansa's wedding because there wasn't too much gruesomeness.
Fair enough, and there was no bedding ceremony, which was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I'll go to that one.
Thank you, Oliver, for that email. It was delightful.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. You're hilarious.
And the next email we have is titled, I loved your podcast so much that I tried to do my own.
Oh, that's cool.
It is from, is it signed? Hang on, I don't like to, I'm going to say Elliot. It's from Elliot. It's not signed, but that's the name on the email, so I'm just going to say Elliot.
Cool.
Oh, it says literally the first sentence is my name is Elliot.
Good job. Reading comprehension, top tier.
Hello, Harmith and Nav. My name is Elliot, he, him, from Brest, France. Am I saying that right?
Ooh.
France, fancy.
Oh my god, you're from France! Slave.
I've been listening to your podcast since you guys were starting the second book. I love listening to you guys while I do my chores, and my roommates think I'm crazy for randomly laughing about nothing. I cannot help myself. You guys are hilarious with your crackpot crackhead theories. Nav's little nods to future events are funny, and Harmith's theories are genuinely interesting. I'm currently reading the books as I listen to you guys, and right now I finished A Storm of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to contact you guys, but I was a bit scared and Discord just overwhelms me, so I decided to fuck it and send an email.
Oh,
I get that.
Thank you, Elliot.
My favorite character in all A Song of Ice and Fire is Daenerys. Also, fuck Jorah.
We love the fuck Jorah gang.
Yes, I love her evolution as a character from a weak slave to a powerful, strong woman. So I have a lot of questions for you guys. No spoilers, I promise. Mm-hmm. Number 1, how do you feel about Dany as a character? How do you think she will evolve?
Ooh. I like Dany. Like I've said before, I've had moments with Dany where I'm just like, is this her bad person arc starting? But then she gets back on track. You know? So I think she's just, I like hers because
finding her footing as a leader.
Yeah, because it's like you can really see you can really see the trial and error, and like I said in today's it's like she is very inexperienced, but she's also I also feel like she's a quick learner because she's really intelligent, so she's like picking up on a lot of things that I'm like, oh yeah, of course she has to pick up on that because she's trying to lead. But then you think about it and you're like, she's just this 16-year-old little girl, and it's like, she's like, so I do think she's very intelligent, and I think her morals, it's interesting because the nurture of just being with Viserys all day, every day didn't totally crumble her morals, which I love. I love that she can still have morals. But yeah, I think she's really interesting because there'll be, it's like I think also because her adventures are so different from anyone else's. I know we saw Catelyn travel a lot, but I feel like obviously Dany we've seen travel the most, and she's met so many different people, and you can see that in everything that she does. She's carrying things from Dothraki, she's carrying things from that Viserys told her, or that are just kind of Targaryen things, and now she's kind of becoming a part of so many different cultures, and it'll be interesting to see her finally, hopefully she won't die before then, actually get to Westeros, because I feel like by then she'll yes, she might be one of the more, she might at least right now she's definitely one of the more inexperienced leaders within battle specifically, but I feel like she'll be one of the most world, she'll have seen more of the world than any of them have. Yeah. So she'll be so worldly, and she'll have all of that additional wisdom. So I don't know, I'm excited for her, but I can't really say where she's gonna go, but I'm excited for it, and I just hope that she continues on the choosing the good person arc, but also I hope that she learns that she can't do everything and she can't save the entire world as much as she wants to. And I love her dragons, obviously.
Quick question. Who is your current favorite character of the ones who are still left alive?
Who did I say it was last time you asked me?
Maybe it was Arya?
I probably
Or maybe
said
it was
Arya.
Daenerys.
I genuinely don't remember. Oh, wasn't it Jon?
Oh, it's Jon always. But what is it at the moment?
At the moment? That's interesting. Honestly, low-key Jaime.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we know that.
At the moment, because there's been recently there's been a lot of Jaime plugging. Like, coming from me, and I feel like George R. R. Martin is willing it to happen. So it's kind of happening.
Sorry, Leah.
No, Leah hates Jaime with a passion, and I think that's beautiful. I think we need Jaime haters and Jaime lovers, and I think that's how we maintain peace in the world.
All right. Well, speaking of Dany's dragons from 2 minutes ago, question number 2 is, I also really like Dany's dynamic with her dragons. I think it's fascinating that they're not pets but her children. Would you like your children to be dragons? If so, what would be their names?
Ooh. I don't know if I'd like my children to be dragons because I'm terrified of all creatures in every single form. So even if, like, yeah, they're my children, I'd be like, okay, but what if one day, like, I'm like, go to your room, and they're like, no, and they just, like, kind of evaporate me with their fire. Not evaporate, but, like, they just kind of, like, engulf me with their fire. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm not really an animal person in that way. I think they're very cute from a distance. Like, if you hold the animal and I can pet it, I'm comfortable, but anything beyond that, please no. However,
so no,
if
you
I
would
did,
not like your children to
but
be
if I
dragons.
did have dragons as children, what would I name them? Do you have any names in mind? I'm trying to think.
No.
Okay. I don't know, but I feel like it would definitely be, like, super elaborate, though. Like, it wouldn't be, like, a 2-letter, it wouldn't be, like, a 4-letter name. Like, it would be very,
One
very
of
elaborate.
my top names for a cat when I get one is Gato, which means squirrel. So I love animals that are named after other animals.
Oh, that's so
So the dragons would be like piggy, cow, and horse.
Oh, that's really cute. Yeah. Mine would definitely be like a 12-letter name where you'd be like, okay, but does it have to be that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd name my dragon like Chrysanthemum or something, you know?
You're going the Targaryen route.
Exactly. They're dragons,
right.
man. We gotta keep the theme, right?
Let's move on to the next question. Number 3. If Dany goes to Westeros, who do you think will be her allies? I'm personally hoping for Olenna Tyrell because bad bitches need to stick together, even though it's unlikely.
So true. That would be so cool. I think logically who her allies would be, I mean, definitely who's the guy who's here who we don't like Vixen or something? Viper. Logically, Viper. Because of the Elia connection. Viper, which family is Viper from? The Viper who's here at the Red Wedding. Yeah, the Martells.
The Red Viper. Sorry, you just kept saying Viper, and I was like, Viper, no vibing.
Yeah, so I feel like that's pretty logical to me. I think also, obviously, I mean, now, like, Barristan Selmy and shit. And then but then my crackpot one is, I think that her and Jon are going to partner up and be best baddies for life.
Right.
So I'm really hoping for that. Like, I'm really holding out for that. And then...
Yeah, besides, they're related. If we...
Yeah, exactly.
Think...
And... Yeah, I feel like there's quite a few families where we've had a lot of hints of, like, they were loyal once. And I feel like a significant...
The Darys, who are all now dead.
Yeah. Oh, oops, it's fine. But I feel like a significant portion of them would, if they're still alive, you know, kind of jump back in. I also think Varys would definitely jump back on that boat.
Oh, yeah. I feel like he has been on that boat, though.
Yeah, but he would publicly, like, he would go in and actually jump on the boat instead of dreaming about the boat, you know?
Why would he need a boat? He's a mermaid.
Oh my. Please.
All right, so number 4, last and very random question, in brackets, hee. If you had to go to a wedding in A Song of Ice and Fire, which wedding would it be? To that I say, Elliot, refer to the above.
Please. I can't. Wait, when was this one sent?
August 4th.
Okay. So this was
Just to put some salt in your wounds.
Thank you. Wow. And here I thought that I'd made a new friend. And now you're just out here breaking me. I would not go to the Red Wedding. That shit's
You just
traumatic.
said you would be afraid in the Red Wedding. Oh, no.
No,
Okay,
I changed
sorry.
my
Sansa.
mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yes.
Okay, so Elliot finishes, finally. I have wanted to say that I love the concept of your podcast so much that I wanted to try the sort of same thing with a friend of mine. So with her, we're reading the Percy Jackson books, which I know you are a fan of, Harmith.
Ooh.
She knows nothing and I'm spoiled on everything. And we're more analytical of the literary aspects of the book and themes throughout. It's different vibe, but still fun. And the podcast is called the Demigod Pod. Oh, it rhymes.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if anybody's into Percy Jackson, go check that out.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That's really cool.
Last sentence. So to conclude, vote Dany for Queen of Westeros and all around badass.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
All right. Thank you for your email, Elliot. Good luck with the podcast thing. Hope it brings you as much joy as this one brings us.
I don't know if this brings joy. Like Red Wedding.
It brings connection, question mark.
Okay, fine. I'll give us that.
All right.
Thank you, Elliot.
The next email is titled Getting Through the Backlog, and it is from the name that I think I was saying it the way I was saying it before was Thedo, but this is the guide. The pronunciation is less English sounding, like how you say it. Just like in native Hindi, the TH sound is pronounced the same as in Thakur, so it's ta.
Okay.
But wait, no, that's Thakur or Mathur, but that's a th. So that's two different sounds, dude. Which one is it? Is it th or ta? And the T, like in Parthipada, I don't actually know what that is. I don't know that word. Okay, so is it Theto or Teto? Which one is it? Oh no. Is it option A or option B? Please still correct me one more time. I know you're in the Discord, so tell me there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Nevin Harmouth. It's me. Now I can't
insert name. Moving on.
I'm gonna use Theto.
Okay.
No, Theto.
I'm confused.
But how is the A sound? Or is it an A or is it an A?
Are going forward.
Okay, I've been meaning to write another email for a while now, but it's been an endless loop of me putting it off for another day, forgetting what I wanted to say in the email, writing it down in little pieces of paper when I do remember, and then forgetting where I'd placed said pieces of paper whenever I found the time to write in. Fortunately, I finally managed to gather all the pieces of paper and found time to write the email, so it'll be a long one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
okay,
that's beautiful.
First of all, congratulations on your 100th episode. My podcast app counts your August 2nd episode as your 100th, so a huge shout out to the both of you. Thank you for creating and sharing this wonderful podcast and creating such a lovely and interesting community of listeners. I wish you to all the very best.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and this was sent actually before our official 100th episode because the podcast apps count like our trailer as an episode, but we don't.
Yeah.
So, but either way, we have hit 100 episodes.
Yay!
Thanks for your well wishes. Now here's what's been on my mind, what I've been meaning to send. A, I have always thought that in Dany's House of Undying Vision, the lady with Rhaegar and the newborn babe was Lyanna Stark at the Tower of Joy shortly before the Battle of the Trident, which would lend credence to the R+L=J theory. And there's a bit of spoilers from the show, which I'm not going to share. I was surprised when Nav said it was actually Elia Martell. Could you please remind me of the reasons why it would be Elia and not Lyanna? I think Rhaegar was dead by the time Lyanna had Jon. Like, Lyanna got, like, if we're going by the R+L=J.
Yeah, but...
Lyanna, Rhaegar go off. Lyanna gets pregnant. Rhaegar has to go fight a war, dies at the Trident. Lyanna has Jon. Ned finds them. So it couldn't be Rhaegar, because I feel like Rhaegar was
the vision
dead
again? I forget the vision. Oh, because the Tower of Joy shit was when Ned found him. Or, no, not him. Found Lyanna.
Found her.
And by our theory,
and presumably Jon.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Because Tower of the Hand. Okay,
and
cool.
and then also the other part is, like, we assume she died in, like, giving birth. So if she's giving birth when Ned finds her,
Rhaegar can't be there because he did.
Yeah, because we also know that she told him to promise her, like, promise me, Ned, that thing. So I think that's that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so hope that answered your question. B, my memory may be faulty, which it oftentimes is, which, same. But it seems as if Ned Stark has never interacted with Tywin Lannister. We haven't seen the two engage in a conversation, nor has a POV character recollected them ever talking. I always wonder how things would have gone if the two had been together at King's Landing during the first book. Would disaster have been avoided? Who would have Ned approached first about the incest babies, Tywin or Cersei? I think a lot about how Tywin's presence in the first book would have impacted the sequence of events.
That's so
I'm sure they've interacted, especially when, like, Tywin sacked King's Landing and then Ned showed up to claim it for Robert.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't get that conversation.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Whether or not he would have told Cersei or Tywin, his whole thing was to, like, he told Cersei because he wanted her to, like, run away and hide and save her kids.
I feel like he still would have told Cersei, because especially if he'd had those experiences with Tywin, he would have known that Tywin wouldn't have. Tywin's not a listening gal.
Yeah. I think the only thing, like, once Joffrey is placed as king, and if Tywin is around, he would have stopped all the bullshit. Like, they wouldn't have dismissed Selmy. They wouldn't have randomly killed Ned. Like, all of those things. They wouldn't have let Arya get away. Like, which, like, for the Lannisters is a bad thing. I'm not saying, like...
Yeah, I'm not saying we would have... Well, she might have been alive now if she hadn't gotten away.
Fair enough.
So I don't really... Like, at this point, I don't know if
So maybe
I'm,
it's a good thing that could have been for both things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very big what if, you know? Like, I feel like things could have been drastically different. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Folks, go on and discuss in the Discords.
Mm-hmm.
Letter C. This is a spoilery bit of opinions on on a show, like, character versus a book character.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to not say it, because I would rather err on the side of caution, you know? Okay, D. Grey Wind. Rob's direwolf snarled and attacked anyone he didn't trust, which we, along with Catelyn, assumed to be a good skill for judgment to determine whether someone was faithful to Rob's cause or not. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing. What's up with that guy, Jane's uncle, that the direwolves were mad at, that Rob ended up sending away? What do you think his deal is?
Oh, because I remember I was like, oh, he's in cahoots with Tywin.
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
but
he's probably just not a very good person.
So he wasn't plotting against Rob and in cahoots with Tywin, he just wasn't it?
I mean, he might have been in cahoots. Once again, we have no confirmation or denial. I think back then I said he was in cahoots, so I'll just go with that. Just because we haven't really gotten an update on that at all.
Right.
But I feel like
because he was sent on a mission to, like, return some captives or something, right?
Yeah, so...
To the Lannisters, so he would have another opportunity to cahoot.
Yeah, because I feel like Tywin also, like... Because there was that part where Tywin outlined his entire plan, and I feel like if the uncle was involved, it would have come up. Like, it would have been like, and we got our fucking uncle, so he really has no one. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would have been... Because by that point, he told Tyrion everything else, right? And same thing with,
Who did?
When Tywin was telling Tyrion what had happened at the Red Wedding.
Oh. Right.
Because by that point, it had already happened, so he was just telling him everything.
I don't know if Tywin actually went into details. He was like, it happened, and we didn't have to get our hands dirty.
Yeah, but that's where he found out that's where Tyrion found out the details.
Did he, though?
I'm pretty sure.
It might be the case, but I don't remember. Okay, let's move on. So there's something going on. Maybe that guy will show up and we'll figure it out. Letter E. Do we ever know if Robb developed his warging abilities with Grey Wind? Even if it isn't, if it's to a much lesser degree / extent compared to Arya / Jon. We know for a fact that Jon and Arya had such a deep special connection to their direwolves, and with Bran taking it to the next level. Obviously, we never had a chance to get into Robb's head and never will. R.I.P. cutie. But I still
remember when
wonder.
I thought we were going to get his POV in, like, book 4 or some shit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the thing is we don't know. Although the whole, like, Grey Wind did find them that special path that allowed them to win that battle out in the West.
Yeah.
So I would maybe, like, maybe it was, like, on the way to being developed but never got to that point because Robb also kind of developed a mistrust of Grey Wind once he learned that Bran and Rickon had died despite their wolves.
Right. Yeah,
which was
I feel
not
like
true,
there was,
but, you know.
Yeah, because there was also that thing of, like, them talking about, like, oh, like, it's like they're one when they're in battle, like, he does it. You know, I feel like all of that was definitely alluding to, like, that connection and how Robb used it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's, like, unconfirmed.
Yeah.
It's, like, unconfirmed happenings.
Still sucks that Sansa never got that. But maybe Sansa will now develop that bond with Nymeria, who's still out there somewhere somehow.
Wait, that would be so cute. I really want that to happen.
Yeah. Okay, F. Okay, I get it already. You two don't like Stannis the Mattis, but can you give him a break, please? I honestly feel like Stannis is one of the few leaders I'd bend my knees to if I were in Westeros. He does what he must and what needs to be done. His Satyrian personality and his trauma response to a world that gave him very little affection and attention. Even that old maester that died from the poison said so. I'm of the opinion that Stannis and those like him believe by being dutiful, they will find their core an unshakable sense of direction and identity, along with the approval they crave. So please, give him a bit of a break. We'll try.
Like I've
no
said,
promises.
He's just as traumatized as the rest of them, but he doesn't do it in a way that we find entertaining, so we don't give him any credit. I'm not saying we're good people for that, or that's a thing that we should do, but it's a thing that we do. But yes, thank you. I love when the Stannis defenders get in here, because we're definitely not Stannis defenders, so it's nice to get that perspective.
Yeah.
But no, like, you have a point. Like, at the beginning of the second book when, what was his name? Pylos?
Maester Crescent.
Oh, oops.
Pylos is the new one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, when Crescent was, like, yes, so true, bestie, but also, like, it's Stannis.
All right.
But
signed.
you make a good point, for sure.
So this email is signed, the last born male child who is quite similar to Renly in more ways than one.
LOL!
All right. We see you.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
And then the PS, the postscript is the pronunciation of the name.
Nice.
So please clarify, is it the, ta, and is it a, or what? Still, more direction needed.
Please,
directions unclear.
To be determined. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Thank you for your email.
Thank you, homie.
All right, so the next email is by Mots, and it's titled dun 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 to the tune of Game of Thrones theme.
Please, that's beautiful.
Hello there. What the hell? This was such a wonderful surprise to start my day. So this was the day that we released that 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this episode a few days ago, not knowing that y'all were doing this, so the timing couldn't have been more perfect. Of course, I have some thoughts, and as per usual, they're neither particularly insightful, nor are they all that useful to anyone at all. Yeah, but what is? However, I'm sending them to you anyway, so you're welcome. We appreciate it, Mots. Number 1, it's really nice to be able to talk about the casting of the show now without feeling like I'm spoiling things, and I will. I fucking love the casting of the show. Shout out to Nina Gold, who's the casting director.
Ooh.
Number 2, Harmut's not thinking Nikolai Coster-Waldau was hot enough to play Jaime was mind-blowing to me. Though I do agree that he becomes even hotter as the show progresses. He's probably the guy I'm the most attracted to in this show. Maybe except Richard Madden, who plays Robb Stark, which reminds me that I did post yeah. Which reminds me that I did post on my Snapchat story about me being extremely attracted to Richard Madden. Yes, I was watching the shaving scene when I posted that.
The shaving scene?
Where all the guys are getting shaved.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
So if Harmut hadn't watched the episode already when I posted that, I'm sorry. I don't think you noticed, right?
Here's the thing. I feel like Mott's is a fandom person, so if I see stuff like that, I'm not gonna assume it's a Song of Ice and Fire.
It's Game of Thrones, because there's so many different fandoms.
Yeah, so because I remember seeing Mott's post about Hamilton stuff, and I love Hamilton, so I paid more attention to it, but because I didn't know Richard Madden's name, I check Snapchat once a week, so it's totally possible that I didn't even see that story, you know? So, yeah. I don't know, either way, I didn't know.
No spoilers, we're all good.
Yeah.
Number 3, it makes me so happy that Harmut liked the score, and especially that I can now talk about the opening title sequence. However, there are so many other songs I want to talk about that I can't yet, and now I'm sad. Number 4, God, I love Mark Addy as Robert Baratheon. The scene where we meet him, especially the moment where he tells Ned he's gotten fat and Ned just raises an eyebrow, makes me laugh every time.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good interaction. Number 5, I adore Harry Lloyd. He's such a good Viserys. I might actually prefer his portrayal of Viserys to the one we see in the books. And he does such a great job narrating the Dunk and Egg novellas, and I hope he gets a cameo in the TV adaptation, assuming that happens. There's Dunk and Egg stories are in pre-production or something. I don't know.
Okay. Slay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Like they're being considered to be adapted for TV.
Whoa.
TV. I said TB, but I meant TV.
Not tuberculosis,
I promise.
Please.
Number 6, Nav. Oh, no. Sorry, this is me. This is quoting me. This is a quote from me. They had the opportunity to improve on the problematic aspects of the book, and they did not choose to take it. Quite an understatement here. As much as I love this show, I hate the direction they went in with certain things, like Dothraki culture and Daenerys and Drogo's wedding. I have very little respect for David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the showrunners, for many reasons, even outside of the last few seasons, and this is one of them.
Damn.
Number 7, Nav, and this is not a quote. This is Nav, comma.
Nav being addressed.
Nav. Yeah, you mentioned that you wrote a paper analyzing the male gaze in this episode, and I have to ask, do you still have this paper by any chance? Because that sounds fascinating. If you don't want me to read it, that's obviously fine. I think I do have the paper, and it's full of first-year university vocabulary where you're trying to over-impress by using big words. So I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh my gosh.
But maybe. I'll think about it. Number 8. Harmut comparing Ned Stark to Henry Fonda in 12 Angry Men is honestly so good. I love that comparison.
Thank you.
Less good is Harmut completely butchering a super famous Star Wars quote. I'm absolutely dying laughing, though. What was it? Luke, you're my father. What did you actually say?
I can't remember what I said, like, in real life. I'd have to ask one of my friends. I'd have to ask. But I can't... But pretty much, it was like, I said that Luke was the father, or like I don't know. I honestly can't tell you.
I'm just making it weirdly.
I'm just
somehow.
making things up. I pretty much butchered it. Like it was the wrong. Like the parent was wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9. Comparing Stannis to Aaron Burr from Hamilton kind of makes sense. I would say Burr / Leslie Odom Jr. is a lot more charismatic than Stannis the Mattis, though. But I get the entitled and ambitious part for sure. Wow, I'm impressed that I was able to resist. Wow, words. Wow, I'm impressed that I was able to resist the urge to write an entire fucking essay the moment you brought up Hamilton. A round of self-applause.
Please.
Applause for Moss.
Beautiful.
Number 10. If Harmouth won't cast egg, I will. My pick for him is Danny DeVito for no reason other than that meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's like, can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Please. That's so
a good
funny.
reason as any.
That's so funny. I love that.
Number 11. I genuinely cannot wait for y'all to cover more of the show. Season 1 is fantastic and I love it so much. I can't wait for Harmouth to experience more of it, especially with the casting and the music. I firmly believe that the true MVPs of this show were Nina Gold, the casting director, and Ramin Djawadi, the composer. I do not know how to say this person's name. I'm so sorry. Congratulations on hitting the 100 episode milestone. I'm really proud of y'all and I'm so... Oh, that's just where the sentence ends. I think there was like an error in typing or something.
He really said cliffhanger, wait for my next email. I'm dead. That's so funny. Thank you,
Here's to
Mods.
100 more.
3 more years. Oh my.
Yeah. Thank you for the show and for giving me a place to talk about this horribly depressing and heartbreaking series of which, for some fucking reason, I'm a fan. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love y'all. Sincerely, Mots.
Thank you, Mods. Slay.
P.S. In spite of everything that happened in later seasons, I absolutely adore the show. It's one of my favorite pieces of media ever, especially the first season. I'm genuinely getting so happy listening to this episode. Again, thank you so much for this. P.P.S. I had so many thoughts listening to this, especially since I rewatched this very episode recently. So I really had to restrain myself not to include every single one of them, and this email is so long as it is. Holy shit, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
P.P.P.S. in quotes, a Mott's email without at least 3 postscripts is considered a dull affair. Illyrium Opatus.
Please, not the dull affair.
I couldn't resist making this joke. And then he sent a follow-up email.
Oh my gosh.
Regarding point 10.
Mm-hmm.
The irony of me misquoting this line right after talking about Harmouth misquoting Star Wars. The actual line is, can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? Oh.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I spent any amount of time proofreading my emails, I would have gotten that right. It's fine. Who cares, Mots? It's great.
Mm-hmm.
We proofread too many emails. I'm trying to embrace the Gen Z sig side-offs.
Oh my gosh. Please just...
Not giving a fuck.
Please. Mm-hmm. Exhaustedly yours.
Because
no.
I have honestly, but I am so exhausted beyond comprehension at my job right now that I cannot care anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, the final email. It's a short one. It is titled, Just Do One Per Month.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sent by Depression Chamber.
Oh my gosh.
Is that so much to ask? Review the HBO series 1 episode per month. Please, who would it hurt?
I agree.
You can stop.
Here's the thing.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
You can stop when you catch up to where you are in the books, but that won't happen for years. Okay, say your thing and then I will shut it down because that's what's happening.
Okay. Let's just say that I am not the reason that we're not covering more show episodes. So yes, I will throw you under the bus.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I am the one that says we shouldn't do the show until we finish the books because many reasons. If we do 1 episode of the show a month, then we're going to be only doing 1 episode of the books a month and we're never going to finish them.
Valid. I don't think we should do once a month. I think that, no, here's my proposition that Nev was like, nope. I think that we should do 1 show episode a year. And I think that would be really fun. And I think that the listeners would love that.
My problem with that is that it is so far apart that you would forget what happened in the last one and there would be no continuous thread.
We can rewatch all of them every time.
The other thing is that if we read all of the books before we watch the show, then I can say everything I want to say about that episode instead of having to hold back on it.
Yeah, but we can get... it can be good because then we can get multiple perspectives because then after we're actually done all the books, we can just start back from season 1 and we can do let's say we do episode 1 through 5, which we've already watched, and then you can say everything that's unspoilery. And we can, like, it'll be even more interesting because we'll start off with those rewatches.
I don't want to cover the same thing first in the book, then in the show, then again in the show.
That's fine, because it'll be
We will have nothing original left to say.
No, that's literally not true. There's so much. You can't say that about this series, of all series.
And how am I supposed to filter my thoughts just with spoilers? Like, how am I supposed to remember what is a spoiler and what isn't a spoiler after the fact? Like you're saying, we'll do an thing where I'll just say the spoiler thoughts. But how will I know what was spoilers or not spoilers at that time? Because we're past it.
We can just listen to our show episodes just to get a sense of what we already talked about.
That's a very artificial way to do it.
I don't think that's artificial at all.
Let's talk about it in a year. How about that?
Fine.
We just had
Filtering slightly doesn't make it artificial. It just makes it polished. You can still be real and polish.
I don't like polished.
I don't care. Like, we edit these episodes. That's still polished. Fine. Oh my god, that's so... Okay, shh. You don't do that because you don't want to fall down a hole. Not because you don't want them to be polished.
I don't want them to be polished.
Yeah, but there's a place for polished in our project.
All right. Talk to you in a year. Until then, send us emails and DMs on Instagram at Pop Culture Symposium. The email is popculturesymposium@gmail.com, and join the Discord, of course. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.